Hey guys, how's it going? So it was just Thanksgiving, and let's be honest. I know a lot of you aren't from the US, so you don't even acknowledge Thanksgiving, but it's pretty much a terrible holiday. It's not a nice holiday, but it's known for good food, and it did teach me to express gratitude. I went to Catholic school, and every year during Thanksgiving, we would do a mass and we would go up and say what we were thankful for. And um, I like that aspect of it. So I just wanted to come on today and tell you guys about a journey I took in 2018 and the first time I experienced true kindness. So I was working at a car dealership in Eugene. I had just gotten out of a tough relationship after 4 years, and I was working this job and I had a new car, and I was home and things were okay, but I just wasn't happy. So I threw up my hands in the air and I asked the universe for a sign. And that night I messaged a recruiter that had got me a job in Thailand years before, and I asked him about the job market abroad. It'd been 5 years since I'd been overseas, and I just didn't know what the situation was. So he told me China or Myanmar. And I didn't really have any desire to go to China, so I said Myanmar. And long story short, I took a job and I got on a plane, and within 2 weeks I landed in Myanmar. So I took a job in the northeast in a smallish town called Lashio, and I literally knew nothing about it. I flew into Bangkok and I had to do some visa stuff, and then I flew into Yangon and I did some more stuff, and then I flew up into Lashio. So as you know, in recent years, Myanmar has gone through another just atrocity, genocide. What's going on in their country is just heartbreaking. I'm still in touch with some people there, and I'll get to that. But yeah, I took a job at this international school in Burma. And I was just off for another adventure. I didn't really know what to expect. I knew very little about the country. I'd spent time in Thailand and Korea, but I really had no idea about Burma. So off I went. So I had to stay in a hotel because there weren't very many foreigners here at all. And the country at this time was still pretty okay, but they wanted to be safe, and basically there was surveillance in the hotel, so the school considered it a safe environment. So yeah, I was staying in a hotel in Lashio, and I was trying to figure it out. I'd never heard the language. Burmese isn't something that's widely spoken. I never heard of the currency. I didn't know what to eat. It was it was that culture shock all over again. But I started teaching, and I met some really incredible people. There was a British girl there. Actually, she's from Wales, and she was there with her husband and son. She lived there for quite a few years, and she's actually a big part of my story. So her name is Katie, and she's an incredible human being. She had lived in Myanmar for several years prior to us meeting, and she unfortunately witnessed an accident, and it was raining, and she was in a salon, and she ran out to try to help these people. They were on a bike and they got hit, and she held an umbrella over them and waited for the paramedics, and unfortunately one of them did pass away, but one of them survived, and through that tragedy she was able to start a foundation called the Holding Umbrellas Foundation, and she is a nonprofit that was able to work prior to what's going on in the country now. Again, this was in 2018. So she is the first one to really explain to me what it means to plant seeds and to manifest things and to give back to others. She had done a lot of amazing work within Myanmar, and she invited me to be a part of a lot of it while I was there. She welcomed me into her home, and she cooked me food, and of course we went shopping together for beautiful longis, which are the traditional clothes, which you'll see some coming up. I just can't say enough good things about her. She's amazing. And her lovely mother does bake sales, and they raise money. Well, they were able to raise money prior to this current unrest, to do a lot of really amazing things within the country. So I have to extend my gratitude to her for letting me be a part of it and planting the seed in me and helping me realize that this is what I want to do with my life as well. My dream is to establish a nonprofit to help the less fortunate. I'm not exactly sure where that's going to be yet, but that's why I keep seeing different parts of the world and experiencing things to try to establish where would be a good place to kind of put down some roots and to be able to help people in the communities that really need it. So Myanmar was also the first time I was really introduced to Buddhism. Some of the teachers took me to the temple for the first time and just kind of explained to me what it meant to be Buddhist, the principles of Buddhism. Like, here's a random lizard. I still don't know everything that happened. But having that experience at the temple was really important for me. There's my first longi. It's amazing. You can get everything tailored there for really cheap. So that's super cool. And while we were there, Katie and her family donate every month to a temple, and they were having a dedication ceremony. So she invited me to go along for this ceremony, and yeah, it was incredible. She got to meet this famous designer and get fitted for the most amazing longi. We were on TV, which I will show that here coming up. Like, who's on TV in Myanmar? It was just a really incredible experience, and the woman that is like her mentor, her Burmese mother, her and I actually share a birthday, so I feel like we were kindred spirits. Like, all of this was really meant to happen, and we were meant to cross paths, and she was meant to show me this part of the world, and I'm really grateful for that. One of the most incredible things is Myanmar is known as a poor country, but it is so rich in natural resources, and these people give offerings to the temples of stones and gold and jade, and it's all real. So all of this behind me are real stones. It's unbelievable. So here's Katie preparing for the ceremony, and it was insane. There were these incredible processions, and I had just arrived, so I didn't know everything that was going on. I was just trying to take it all in. And the clothes were just so amazing, and the whole experience. It was so hot that day, though, I'm not even gonna lie. The humidity was really, really something. But yeah, all of these devout people are here, and monks came from all over the country. It was really something special. You know, and this is why I love traveling. I really love to see the way things are done in other countries. And it's so nice to see devotion in a positive way, in a kind way, in a giving way. You know, there's so much anger and hatred in the world and ugliness, and this was just the opposite of all of that. It was so beautiful, and the energy within the space was really incredible. They're bringing in parts now to adorn part of the temple. Like, they're going to be erecting all of these things in the air, and yeah, like I said, I was just watching. I'd never seen anything like it, obviously. Like, this isn't common where I'm from, of course, so it was as new to me as it is to you right now. You know, this isn't the type of ceremony that you just go to. This isn't like a public thing. This was a very private thing. Like, the donors of the temple were here. Very honored and revered monks were there. There was a reason that each person was there. for them to allow me to be a part of it. How cool. And Katie, as a foreigner, like I said, but she speaks the language. She's been fully immersed in the culture, and it's been really incredible to watch her journey through Myanmar. Like I said, she comes from Wales, like a small place in Wales, and here she is living her best life in Myanmar, and this is home for her, and it was just so amazing to be there for her for this moment as well. And again, all of this stuff is real. Unbelievable. I'd never seen gold and rubies and jade and diamonds and sapphires and everything. I mean, for one, if that was in America, it would get robbed in a heartbeat. You know, even if it's sacred. Like, I find that in Western culture, there's less things that are sacred. People vandalize or steal or whatever the case is, but here it's not. That's not how it is. Like, regardless of if they're poor, they give what they have. And it's their belief in karma, right? If you do good in this life, good will come back to you. And the suffering that you have, you're burning through past karma. So as hard as things seem, it happens for a reason, and as you burn through that karma, you're not going to have to face it again. So that's the silver lining, and that's something I really like about the Buddhist faith. There's nothing to lose by helping others, because you're helping them right now, so you're making a difference. And if there is a next life, you've done good in this life, so you're going to be repaid. So how do you lose? You know, and this was a big inspiration of why I want to help other people. I was blessed with a passport that offers the ability to travel. You know, I have freedoms that a lot of people don't have. And so I'm going to utilize that gift and try to do the best I can for others, because in the end it benefits me too, and when others do well, we all do better. That's the best thing. And this is where I started to learn all of that. And this was August. This was around August 15th, 2018, in Mandalay, Myanmar. No, this was in Mandalay. And then they hoist this thing in the air. You can see the guys just climbing up the scaffolding on the side. And those are the pieces the women were carrying in the procession. Now they put it on this, like, I mean, the best comparison I can make is like the sleigh of Santa. That's what it looks like. Guys just on the side. Like, I was a little nervous for them, but they were all right. Yeah, even as long as I lived in Thailand and it was a Buddhist country, I didn't take the time to explore the religion at all. My previous time in Asia, my priorities were a little bit different. So yeah, as I mentioned, Katie was asked to do an interview on TV, and since I was there as well, I got to do it. And here's our 30 seconds of fame.
မင်္ဂလာပါရှင်ကျွန်မနာမည်ဆရာမကျော်ခေတီပါဒါကကျွန်မဗုဒ္ဓဘာသာပါပုံပုံကကျွန်မကိုဓမ္မစာသင်ပင်ပါတယ်ရှင်တွေ့ရတာဝန်တာပါတယ်ဒီနေ့ကျွန်မအလုပ်တယ်now အများကြီးလူပါမယ်ဒီနေ့အရင်ပြောတယ်
My name is Liberty Jefferson and I come from America. I've been invited here today by Katie Harvey. And I've never experienced any type of ceremony like this. It's very different to where I come from. And I'm blessed to have this opportunity in such a beautiful country and to be a part of such a beautiful tradition and culture.
မြောက်ပြည်ပြည်သားပေးတဲ့များရှင်ပေးတဲ့ချစ်တဲ့ပြည်သူထက်တိုင်းနဲ့ရှေ့ဘုံဖွင့်မနေ့ကနာအောင်စည်တော့၆လနာပိတ်ပွဲနဲ့ရှစ်ကြီးတော်ကျင်းကုဆိုဝဲအခမ်းအနားဟာအောင်ရစွာပြင်းမြောက်ခဲ့လို့အခုဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ရွှေမုံဝင်ငွေလည်းရွာသုံးဖြိုးနေပြီဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒီလိုအလူတော်မင်္ဂလာအခမ်းအနားကိုကြည့်ရှုနေကြတဲ့ပြည်သူများအားလုံးလည်းတရားသူကြီးတွေစွာနဲ့တာဝန်ခေါ်ဆောင်နိုင်စေဖို့အတွက်ခြေကုပ်သစ်ဆက်ပေးတဲ့ရာဇဝင်တွေဖြစ်ပါတယ်ရှင်
That last clip in the video, they were like throwing money out, and it was a scene. And this is my birthday twin and Katie, the one in the middle. She's Katie's mentor and mother. She's amazing. She has a school in Mandalay. We went to we had a food festival at school, so that was really fun because I had no idea about the food, and to be honest, it wasn't my favorite cuisine, but I did my best. So yeah, my birthday was coming up. It was August 21st, and I was telling everybody it was my birthday. And Katie pulled me aside and she was like, you know, when it's your birthday here, you take everyone out. And I was like, oh. So yeah, I invited everybody at school out, the head of school, the teachers, the cleaners. And the cleaners, they said they couldn't come. And I said, well, why? And they said, because we're the cleaners. And I said, but you're coming. Please come. So they came. And you know what? 15 people came. And they all brought a gift. And these women make $100 or less a month. And I make 20 times that. And they all brought a gift. And I went back to my room that night and I cried. I ended up in the hospital, but not that separate. But I cried because they all brought something. They make so little and they send what they have back home to their families, and they all brought something. And that was the day I saw kindness, gratitude. And I wrote in this journal, and I drank coffee and I reflected on planting seeds and gratitude, and that's what Katie taught me. And that's what these women showed me. And for the first time, I felt true kindness. They didn't want anything in return. They just wanted to celebrate me. And they had just met me. And look at these kids singing about water. One of the teachers wrote this song, and I love it. So I had to put it in here. And I think about these kids now. You know, their country is in such turmoil. Lashio right now, the fighting, it's insane. The teachers have all relocated, but the kids, they haven't. They don't have a choice. And maybe they have. I pray that they have. Because the unrest that's going on in their country now is just heartbreaking. The military junta is just... You can form your own opinions, but I know what's going on, and it's heartbreaking, and these people don't deserve it. The kindness, the generosity, the open arms, the welcomeness I felt there, it's just unbelievable. And so in this time of Thanksgiving, I just wanted to give the world a glimpse into Myanmar. Don't forget about Myanmar. Pray for Myanmar. And if they find peace again in our lifetimes, visit Myanmar. Give them a chance. It's an incredible country. And this monk has gone on to his next life, and may he be free. On to another adventure. It was only a few months, but it was a powerful few months that I'll never forget. And pray for Myanmar.